Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the People's Choice Podcast. This is episode 44, and we are back with an amazing guest. I'm so glad that she's here for episode 44. I'm here with Latoya Darneice, right? Is that how you say that?
That's right.
I just want to make sure, okay? Because I know when I put it there before, he was like, "Oh, Darniece." I was like, "All right." Thank you again. You are an amazing woman. Just from the stuff you share with me from your blog, you're a blogger. Also saw you as a former Navy SEALs member. I didn't know that sound right. Yeah, Navy SEALs member. I'm sorry. Also, you've been through a lot in life, and I see that you actually have a great fitness journey going on too from your Instagram posts. So let me give you a clap and a great introduction, and thank you for being on the show.
Oh goodness. Yes. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much. I'm excited. My blog lounge, New Year's Day. I am so excited. It's finally out. Let it out.
Yes.
Let it out. That's the name of my blog. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and Let It Out with Latoya. It's an emotional wellness blog where you talk about overcoming physical and emotional abuse. You also talk about and focus on specific topics, recovering from trauma, abuse, PTSD. I mean, so much. So my question is, when did all this start for you? Like, when did you think that you wanted to start a blog?
I wanted to start a blog. It's probably been a little over 2 years since I actually, really took it serious about starting it and letting all the different topics that I went through, everything that I went through in my life from because everything started from childhood, all the way up until now. We're a couple of years back. It's recently still going on. Different turmoil, depression, anxiety, different things. Depression actually comes and goes, so it's not like you get if something happened could be happening to you 20 years ago, and you can still get depressed about it because it's some certain things that people it takes a lifetime for you to get over. It's certain things like that. So
is that when it started with you for like your childhood?
Yeah, a lot of things that I went through in my childhood that I never really spoke about, and some that I did, some I did spoke about. I have spoke about before, but it's a lot of things that a lot of emotional pain. I grew up actually as an only child. I have siblings, but we didn't grow up around. It was an early age that we got separated. I was like 6 or 7 years old. We got separated, so I was the only child from that age all the way up until so. I got a couple of siblings. We still seen each other throughout my childhood, but we didn't live in the same house. So that was the major difference. We didn't live together. And it was a lot of things that I went through as far as that I'm still processing. I was real quiet in school, and a lot of my friends, they used to ask me why I was so quiet, and I was just processing information still. That's what it was, like sitting there still processing information. Still, like today, I still process information from like 20, 25 years ago. Because it's still trauma, still traumatizing. And my therapist is doing a wonderful job. She's doing good. She's doing a great job. Yeah.
That's what's up. Shout out to the therapist.
I think everybody should, do some kind of therapy. They should, because mental health is real. It is real. Like even relationships, any kind of relationship, you dated somebody or anything emotional, any kind of emotional pain, emotional trauma from even with your parents. It started out with my parents. That's how it started for me. Emotional trauma. My parents are. Well, my mom, she's not really mother. Let's say it like that. She's not really emotionally available. My dad is somewhat the same way too. So I couldn't really come to them and talk to them about certain things. It was kind of hard to talk to them. So that's why I'm glad that that I started therapy
Hmm.
because it's really helping me. It's helping me a whole lot.
When did you start therapy? Like like was it?
Started to
Oh, go ahead.
well, I just started. I not recently. It's recently I started back with a different therapist. It's only been over a year. It's been about a year and a half. Mm-hmm. And she's really
Wow.
helping me cope with it.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I can't imagine just all the stuff you had to deal with just from childhood and then teenage years and young
Mhm.
adulthood,
Mhm.
bottling all
Mhm.
that up and then finally letting it out. So I
Mhm.
mean, I commend you 100% though, and so
I
proud
went
of you.
through a lot of gaslighting. I went through a lot of gaslighting, a lot of just certain things that I just couldn't. I just couldn't. I didn't have really people to talk to without being judged about.
Hmm.
They're real judgmental. My parents are real judgmental. They're just not real motherly. My mother's not that motherly. My dad's somewhat the same way. So that's why I came out, to get recovering from trauma.
Hmm.
Basically, most of it is emotional. Some of it is physical, but most of it is emotional.
Definitely. So
I just feel like it's time to let it out.
yeah, and the floor is all yours. If you want to,
Mhm.
let's start from your childhood. What traumatic traumas did you have from your childhood?
Oh, just getting into. I got into a couple of fights. I got into a couple of fights and got gaslighted for that. Like, what are you doing? I'm trying to run home and trying to explain to my mom what happened, and she gaslighted me. I mean, I done got molested. I done got physically physically abused. I done got out. It's a lot of stuff, and
Man.
I didn't really have the protection,
Hmm.
and I just couldn't understand why. Like it seems like I'm getting blamed for something, and I'm the victim. Basically, that's how it was.
And
That's
I'm
basically what it
so sorry you went through that, and I'm
was.
really glad that you're willing to talk about it openly. Because I'm telling you, this podcast reaches thousands of people, especially even in different countries or all over the states. And I really think that this can be able to help somebody else.
Yeah, definitely will. And I got a lot of I got some things I'm gonna add on my blog too. I'm about to add on my blog tonight. There's some different things that I didn't touch on yet.
Hmm.
I'm gonna do some things on tonight. Thanks for checking it out. You
Yeah,
did.
of course. I gotta check it out. I always take all my peeps. That's what I call my fans or
Mhm.
my friends, really my peeps. Check out all the stuff as best as I can because sometimes life can get crazy with
Yeah,
especially podcasting and working and stuff. But I'm glad that you started on this blog journey and really just wanting to get your story out there and help a lot of people. So my next question, what I was going to say, what was the most challenging thing that you've discovered so far about blogging?
just keeping it, just trying to keep it interesting.
Hmm.
Interesting things going. Just keep people eyes trying to put out eye catching things that people will be interested in reading about.
Hmm.
That's the most. I don't want it to be boring. That's why I change it up a lot. I add things. I constantly add things. I add pictures. I add different colors.
Hmm.
I constantly keep adding different things onto it. So
And I
yeah.
like it. It stands out.
Thank you.
Yeah, it
Thank
stands
you.
out.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, and I got my clothing line going.
Yeah,
I did that last year. I started that last year. This is BE Unity. This is one of my t-shirts.
I like that. That's nice. I'll
Mm-hmm.
make sure I
Mm-hmm.
put your link in the description of the video so people could check
Yeah.
out your clothing line. That's amazing. What
Yeah.
inspired you to start your clothing line?
Well, being a military person and also being with everything going on with the George Floyd uh,
Mm-hmm.
incident, the COVID-19, all
Mm-hmm.
the the victims that were killed by the police, everything all in one. That's what made me come up with the name B Unity in the logo.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, and I thought, I'm gonna start a apparel line. So I just came out with my clothing line last year. It's starting to pick up a little bit. It's going slow. It's still new. So I mean, it's starting to pick up.
Well,
I got
congrats on starting it.
I got some track suits. This is one of my track suits right here.
Oh yeah, let me see that.
Yeah, I got some track suits.
Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. That's really nice.
Track suits. I got the whole suit, and I got some joggers. These two also. These just came in not long ago. I got some more orders on the way. This has the hoodie to it. So it's the whole set.
Ooh, I like that. I love orange and black. Like that's a good color right there. Like I just love that pattern. That's actually how my logo's at.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's I just love I just love the way it looks. Like that's nice. Definitely gonna make sure I put that in description for all my peeps out here and newer fans too that will see this to check you out.
Thank you.
So let's talk more about your blog, like what we talked about, the specific topics that you talked about. Like there's overcoming, physical pain and emotional pain. Do you want to discuss any of those or both of those and how you was able to overcome it?
Yeah. Well, tattoos. I think I have like 50 something tattoos. It's actually therapy for me.
Hmm.
It's really therapeutic because I have a lot 50 something tattoos, and a lot of them represents something that I went through in my life.
Hmm.
A lot of them, I got two sleeves. I got a couple of them on my back, one on my leg. A lot of it represents things that I went through, and it is really therapeutic. I used to hear people say that, and I was like, "What they mean tattoos?"
Hmm.
But now I see, and it really is therapeutic for me. But that's one thing that helps me. That helps me get over, a lot of things I'm going through. I just get a new tattoo. I say, "Oh, I'm gonna get this tattoo, and this is gonna represent this because it's a part of, now it's a part of my life.
Hmm.
It's definitely part of my life, and that's one of the things that are helping me. That really does help me get over a lot of things.
Is that help more like emotional? Like as you
Yeah,
getting the tattoos, the emotional? Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, see,
yes.
I got like six tattoos and they I always wonder that too because people say it all the time. A lot of my friends they like, yeah, this is like therapeutic, but like when I got my tattoos, I was like, this kind of hurts. What y'all talking about?
I know,
Especially the
right?
wiping, like, oh my god, like, I actually gotta get one of my tattoos. I gotta get finished because it just the pain was a little too much, and then the person who do my tattoo ended up moving, so like it was just a mess.
Where is it at? Where is it located?
My wrist actually, so it's a flame. I actually got. I don't know if you can see that. My camera's a little high, but you see how it's like light right here because it's not finished.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
And that
so
bone right there, once it get right there, that's gonna hurt.
yeah, that's where.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
because she only went over a little bit, and I was like,
yeah,
oh.
yeah. That's gonna be painful. That's definitely gonna be painful. But you'll get over it.
Oh
It'll be
yeah,
worth it. It'll be
definitely.
worth the pain.
Because I definitely wanted to get this one because this was actually a tattoo that I paid tribute to. He's a guy that I met one time. He's a wrestler, MMA fighter, and he had both. Like his was flamed. His name was Sean O'Hare, and I was just like, man, this dude is like was real cool. He's real like a real good fighter, real good wrestler. But he ended up having his own problems as well. Like he was addicted to alcohol. He checked into rehab like 3 or 4 different times and just could never beat that addiction. Then he had other stuff
Mhm.
going on, and then he committed suicide in 2014, I think, 14 or 15. So like that one kind of hit pretty hard for me because like man, this is a guy I was looking up to. But
Mhm.
so I went and got that. That was like my like
Mhm.
tribute to him. But I'm just mad I never got it finished yet. But soon I will
Yeah,
soon.
drinking your problems. I done tried that. Drinking my problems away. That don't work. Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm.
You can drink bad too. That junk that don't work. That drink you can't drink it properly the way
And I think that'd be
they
a great.
say.
I was. I think that'd be a great question actually to ask. Like what other things have you tried that didn't work that you could hopefully maybe help somebody like not try these things to deal with their emotional or traumatic pains.
What are the things that I tried to
Yeah.
cope when they help me cope?
Hmm.
Oh, I used to drink bad.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean it was real bad, but it didn't because I tried to I tried to drink it well. I'm gonna just drink my problems away. Maybe the government that don't work like that.
Hmm.
You never make yourself sick, feeling bad, hanging over the next day. Just thinking about all the things you went through, dating different people, and sharing things with them, thinking that you can trust them with your emotions, you can trust them with information that
Hmm.
bites you in the butt. That will bite you in the butt. Unless you got a genuine person on your side, like that genuinely cares and about your emotion, you can trust with your emotions. Because I shared a lot of things with a couple of people that bit me in the butt, like
Hmm.
so. That's what made it difficult for me to trust and open up to certain people now. That's what made it really difficult for me from dating guys and girls. I've dated both.
Hmm.
Like, so, but that's another topic. we can definitely touch on that. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I dated guys and girls.
Was that one of the struggles that you faced? Like, I know we talked a little about your childhood, but like your childhood a little bit or teenage years.
Yeah, kind of. Well, my first sexual experience was with a girl. We was like 7 or 8 years old.
Wow.
We, yeah, yeah.
Seven or eight.
It was, I don't know what you want to call it. But it was something. We would never like say we would never. We might well say baby. We were seven
Hmm.
to 8 years old. Yeah. I don't know. We had we spent the night together a lot with each other. We was
Hmm.
just playing games, and then one thing led to another. I was like, whoa, this is pretty cool. I
Hmm.
I actually enjoyed it. It was fun. I still remember to this day.
That's what's up. It's crazy because I was just talking to somebody on my last episode about that. Actually, maybe it was 2 episodes ago, where like because they've been friends since they were kids, like early like middle school type stuff, and I'm like, man, and now they're in their 40s and they still like close, and I'm like, that's really rare because
Yeah.
I mean, by the time you leave like high school and go into college or whatever, it's like
Hmm.
you fall off with a lot of people. So,
Right.
but that's good. You say you still keep in touch with that person that you've known
Yeah.
since you was 7.
Yep. We still keep in touch. That was my first sexual experience with a girl.
Hmm.
Yep. I always been attracted to females. I always been. It's more emotional. It's more emotional with females with me. More physical with guys.
Hmm.
With guys. That's how that goes.
Hmm. It's all good, you know. But like I said, I'm glad you let me know, everything. So, like, when did you realize that you were like depressed? Like, was it something that someone said, or was you like, um,
Yeah.
it was okay, yeah.
Well, I realized that something was wrong when I was in basic training, and oh god, I was terrified of this. One of the RDCs, we call them RDCs.
Hmm.
Um, I was in basic training in the Navy, uh, and one of the RDCs, the meanest one, she came over to me and she said, "Seaman Mobley, what's wrong? I mean, are you all right?" And I looked, I'm like, "Whoa!" But she's never been like that polite or nice or she
Hmm.
came over and she was like, "You always so quiet. You always you're always by yourself. You're always you're always kind of to yourself. You're not really, active. You don't get, talkative with the other recruit that was there. And I said, nothing, ain't nothing wrong. She came over there and asked me that. And I was like, whoa, because I was in shock because she's so mean. She was so mean. She noticed something, and I was like, whoa, something. Okay, I need to get myself some help. I
Mm-hmm.
knew right then that was ever since. That's been some years ago. So people always told me, you always noticed how quiet I was. But
Mm-hmm.
that when that happened, I knew. I said I gotta go see a therapist ASAP. Yeah, but that was one of the things. Yeah, that was one of the things. And a couple of more people that I was dating, they noticed that I was kind of closed. You want to say,
Mm-hmm.
kind of standoffish, and they started to say little things, just stuff like that. And that's I knew, I knew. I said, this ain't nothing but depression.
Mm-hmm.
Just a lot of unanswered things. Um, just not feeling protected as a child, and just still stuff still evolving. As years go by, it means it still it still bothers you. Depression comes and goes,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
not only as a child, all the way up until right now, it's still stuff still stuff still happening.
And for you, was it mostly people that was causing the depression, or was it like situations, or just like a good mixture?
A mixture.
A mixture.
hmm Because people, you as time goes by, you can't everything you're not gonna get over. I don't care how long it's been. Even
Mm-hmm.
though you're an adult now, just because it happened, when you were a child, does not mean you're not completely over that because you still have no closure and stuff. Some of the similar
Mm-hmm.
things are still going on with people that they got problems within their self and they don't even know it. So that's another way I look at things too. Because people,
Mm-hmm.
you can talk to people all day, and if they don't see nothing wrong, that you just wasting your time.
Mm-hmm.
You wasting your time talking to them. They don't see nothing wrong they did or nothing wrong they said, whatever. Because they'll look at you like if you say something to them, you try to talk to them, they'll be like they don't know what you're talking about. Well, I didn't do that. I didn't say that.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a manipulator, a narcissist.
I
I done
ran
dealt
into a
with
couple of
everybody.
yeah, I ran into a couple of them in my
Exactly,
lifetimes.
gaslight, queen of gaslight. So,
Oh man,
just
yeah. Oh,
I
what was
was
you gonna say?
isolated for a long time. I was isolated. I was isolated for a long time. I just recently years, I just not kind of slowly opening up, especially
Mm-hmm.
after I found the right therapist for me because not all therapists are gonna be the right one for you. I had a bad experience with a therapist too, and I kind of quit. I kind of scared away from therapy for a while
Mm-hmm.
because of that particular therapist. But she just wasn't the one for me. A lot of them are not. But I would tell everybody out there, don't give up on therapy. If you find a therapist that might not be the one for you, because I have had my feelings dismissed by a therapist before,
Mm-hmm.
and because they will, dismissal of feelings. I talk about that on my blog too. I went through that a lot. I went
Mm-hmm.
through that a lot coming up, and when I experienced it, because everybody said you need to go to therapy, you need to get you some help. And I
Mm-hmm.
finally went, and then I had a bad experience with it, and then I stopped for like 3 years.
Oh
I stopped,
wow.
yeah, and then I stopped for like 3 years because I really opened up to her. I opened up to this therapy, and it
That
wound up, backfiring on me.
I would say that had to be
'Cause
tough.
being real vulnerable. I was being vulnerable.
Yeah,
That's what I was supposed to do. Open up.
yeah, and
And
then you stop going to them, so now it's like your guard is probably back up 10 times more, and then
exactly.
yeah, so like man, how's you able to get out of that? Because it seems like with most people, once their guard is up, well, they let the guard down, they go back up. There's like no reopening.
hmm
So how'd you do that?
Or just a lot of talking to positive people. because I didn't have that. I didn't grow up around a lot of positive. I didn't have a lot of positive. I didn't have a positive support system around me. That's another. That's another thing too. I didn't have a lot of positive people around me.
Hmm.
So I started talking to a lot of positive people, and a lot of people saying, you ain't alone. It's people out there you can talk to that will help you cope
Hmm.
with whatever it is you're going through. And I think you should, I should give therapy another shot, and I did. And this therapist right here, she is really, she's bringing me out. She's really
That's what's
helping
up.
me.
That's what's up. Shout
Yep,
out to your therapist because
yep.
I could tell
Hmm.
you're a great person.
Thank
Just
you.
from the interactions that we've had online, then just just talking now. And there's a lot of great people out there that's just going through so much, and they just don't really know how to deal with it or where to even run to. So,
Right.
like I said, thank you again for sharing that. What advice would you give to someone who is facing depression but don't really either know if they're depressed or like how could they get out of that? Like just from your experiences.
I would say definitely try to surround yourself if you can. If you're in a position,
Hmm.
if you can surround yourself, if you're an adult, you can surround yourself better with positive people. If you're an adult, now if you're a child that's going through it, ooh, I don't know. Pray and hope that you got somebody in your family or a teacher. A teacher, I would say, a teacher or you know, um, church member maybe.
Hmm.
I ain't had no good experience with that because they ain't doing nothing but support the person that was my abuser.
Hmm.
The church ain't doing nothing but support. They ain't really support. You know how it is when,
Hmm.
especially if it's your parent. Oh, that's your mom and all that. You already know how they go.
Hmm.
So, but I would say, a teacher. I would say get involved with if you're a child now, get involved with counseling. They got counselors at the school. They
Yeah.
always did have counselors. Just try to talk to them and tell them what's going on with you. But you got to open up. You got to talk. You got to open up and tell them what's going on.
Hmm.
But adults, you can surround yourself, with positive energy, positive, not negative energy, positive supporters that actually genuinely care what you're going through. They got to care. If you venting to somebody that
Hmm.
don't give a damn about what's going on with you and just telling you anything or whatever, that's not gonna work. It's got to
Hmm.
be somebody genuine, that genuine care about what you're going through. And want to see you get some help, some mental help. A lot of people don't. I feel that a lot of people don't take abuse serious if it's not physical.
Hmm.
I mean, because you can't. I mean, what are you gonna do? You can't. The police can't do nothing about no emotional or mental abuse. I mean, if
Hmm.
it's not physical, I mean, ain't nothing they can do. They can't do anything. But I feel like people don't take it as serious. Abuse is serious when it's not physical.
Hmm.
But I
Yeah.
mean, it's it's even worse or about the same. You know, it
Hmm.
probably make it worse.
Yeah, I remember talking to someone about depression because I've dealt with depression like
Hmm.
I don't want to say my whole life, but pretty much. But it's like how you said it comes and goes. Like it's so hard to explain to somebody like that. Like because people that don't know or don't suffer from depression because they just like, oh, you're not depressed, you're just going through something. It's like, nah, man, like you really don't understand, because like my behavior changes and just things that
Hmm.
I do, like
Hmm.
sometimes or lack of there, like things I just don't want to do, But it was
You
interesting you
become
said that.
isolated.
Yeah.
You become isolated. Yep.
Very isolated. You don't do the
Hmm.
things you want to do. You don't
Hmm.
even try to dress up anymore, or
Don't care how you
you
look. Don't care
don't
how
care
you.
nothing.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
Yep.
I've been there plenty of times, and sometimes it seems like it's harder and harder to get out of it than it was like the previous time. So I was actually talking with a friend recently, and she was actually saying the same thing you're saying. Like therapy really helped her and saved her because she said some of the things that I was going like I'm going through she was going through. She said she recognized the signs immediately. Like, so shout out to you. I know she's gonna see this. She watches all my stuff. But there was something you said though that I was just gonna say, like where you said people don't take, you know, abuse, mental abuse serious, and that's so true. Like people, like you said, like the cops, they see if you're physically abused, they'll try to get, CPS or DCF depending on
Oh,
what
they're
state
gonna get
area you
involved.
live.
They're gonna get if it's physical. They're gonna get
Yeah.
involved. Period.
But when it's like mental, and that could sit with you in your mind forever. Like if
In your
someone's
grave.
constantly telling, yeah, like they telling you you're not good enough, you're never gonna do nothing, you're never gonna amount to nothing. Like
Mm-hmm.
they telling you that at a young age, throughout your childhood to your adulthood, you may feel
Like
that way.
the entire like. Yep.
hmm
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
like there was something I heard before, and I was just gonna say, like I was talking to like he was like, I'll take physical pain any day over emotional pain because physical pain it's going to get better when the doctor says like, okay, let's say you broke your arm, you better in 4 or 6 weeks. Emotional pain don't have an expiration date. It could go on and on and on until you recognize it and try to deal with it. It's not going to get healed when the doctor says it. Like it gets healed when you have to take control of that, or if even if you don't know how to, so that you may never be able to get through that. And some people don't. Like, that's why when you mentioned that, I was like, dang, that's so true. And I just wanted to throw it out there for anyone who's suffering from
Words hurt.
depression.
Words hurt. It's on my blog. I don't know if you read it or not, but words hurt. I put that.
hmm
I posted that on. Mm-hmm. Words
I,
hurt. That's
I used to hate that saying, sticks and stones may break my bones, words never hurt me.
I hate that.
Man, me too. I used to, like, man, I remember when Kanye was going on a rant. And, when he was going
With
against
Tway.
Jay Z. Not with Jay
Oh,
Z, and he was like, "Feelings matter, bruh. Words matter, bro." Like he was saying that on stage,
exactly.
and I was like, "Dang, that's so true." And I mean, I always knew that, but when he said it like that, it just like, man, like I hate that saying "sticks and stones may break my
Mm-hmm.
bone" words because words, man, them things. I'd rather take sticks and stones.
Yeah,
I'll
I
take
hate
sticks
that
and
too.
stones any day. Yeah, because words.
Exactly. Words will, yes, it's
Mhm,
painful, especially if it's coming from somebody that you think really actually, supposed to be care about you or love you.
mhm, 100%.
And it's a whole nother level when it's your parents.
Mhm,
That's a whole that is not that's different than a relate of dating you somebody you dating or some random person like just saying something.
mhm.
That's totally different. That's a different world. That's a different world. But that's true. I mean, that's where I'm at now, and that's why I started this blog to heal
Yeah,
and to talk about everything. I got more things, I'm gonna share
definitely.
with on my blog soon, and I'm just trying to let it out with Latoya.
And I'm glad you picked the People's Choice podcast to let it out because it's definitely we've been talking about real stuff really since the camera been rolling, probably even before then off camera too. And
Yeah,
I think this is really going to help some people. And there's one thing I wanted to ask too because you mentioned closure, and that's a big thing to me, at least when I was dealing with some depression that I was going through. But sometimes you can't always get that closure. But I wanted to ask you, was you able to get most of the closure that you needed, or are you still dealing with some of that stuff, like from your
still dealing with it.
parents?
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
still
so
dealing with it. I'm still
okay.
dealing with it. I mean, it is what it is, but I'm slowly figuring out how to cope with everything and getting toward the closure, closer and closer toward the closure. But it's work. It's helping out a lot now. I'm a long way from where I came. I've came a long way right now, and here I am with this blog. I think this blog is gonna make a huge difference.
Definitely. Is there any bloggers that you looked up to?
I'm really just now getting to know, trying to really get familiar with a lot
Mhm,
of the major bloggers. That's what I'm starting to do now, and hopefully they'll see this interview, and hopefully they'll see my interview, and start reading my stuff on my blog because it's some
mhm,
real stuff, real life stuff that I went through.
mhm.
I'm really opening up, being very vulnerable. You
Definitely.
know, with all
And
my all the people. So
I know you talk about PTSD as well. Is there anything that you want to touch on that from PTSD that you went through, or even maybe someone that you've known, and how they're able to cope with that or even overcome it?
well, a couple of things that really helps with PTSD is just like I said, letting it out.
Hmm.
It's so much bottling, so much bottled in. It makes it actually worse when even writing stuff down helps me out so much. I just,
Hmm.
get a pen and paper and just start writing. Put that pain on paper. That's what I call it. Put that pain on paper. It really helps. It helps out. Just writing it down is therapeutic.
Hmm.
Yoga, yoga. I
Yes,
do yoga. Yes,
I
yes,
just I
yoga.
just started back up yoga literally today. Yes, yoga
Oh
is
wow.
yeah.
Yes.
I'm
Way to
actually
go. Good for you.
thank you. I've started. I don't know if you heard of DDP yoga. That's what I'm
No.
starting to do. I have to send you the
Oh,
link.
okay. Yeah, send me
It's
the link.
man, it's changed so many people's lives, and I'm hoping I could be one of those people because I stopped it. I started a little, then I stopped, and I just wasn't living right. I was just so focused on just other things. And
Hmm.
this 10-year challenge, actually, I don't know if you've seen all the stuff
I
that's all
seen that.
over.
Yeah,
Yeah,
everywhere.
that really helped motivate me because I posted the 10-year challenge, and man, I was like, dang, I look so much better 10 years ago. I was more fit. I mean, it was crazy. It's on my Facebook. I didn't post on Instagram, but I was like, man, I was like, this now kind of got me a little in my feelings. Like, dang, I need to go back 10 years.
Right.
So, I'll put this picture in the video so my peeps can see what I'm talking about. They ain't see it,
I
but
want to see
yeah, it's crazy.
that. I want to
So
see that definitely.
that definitely sparked for me, like it sparked something in me to start yoga again. So I'm glad you said yoga because yoga doesn't just help me out physically, but even mentally. Like I feel good today.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it definitely helps. That's one of the things. A couple of things that I do. It really helps me cope. And this right here, talking to you.
Definitely.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me. Thanks so much.
Oh,
Check,
man.
check my blog out. Let it out with Latoya. My clothing brand, BE Unity Apparel. I'm
Yes.
on Instagram.
Yep.
My personal page is Lives with Latoya. And my fitness journey I'm on.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that too. When did you start your fitness journey?
Oh, I've been over about 2 years. About 2 years.
Yes.
Hmm. Yeah,
That's
about
what's
two
up.
years, and I feel wonderful. I
Yeah,
feel
and I seen some of the progress that you've made. I was going through your Instagram,
Mhm.
and I put those in the video too, so my peeps could see it. And you made an amazing transformation. So I'm real proud of you on that.
Because your weight goes up and down with depression.
Hmm.
Your weight goes up and down. My weight went up and down.
Yeah.
My weight went up and down with depression. So that's where I'm at with that. But you just have to be consistent and want it. You just gotta want it. You gotta want health. Your health better. You want to look good. You want to feel good about yourself. You want to love yourself. Because I didn't do any of those. I didn't do any of those things. I didn't love myself. I didn't feel good about myself. At one point in time in my life, I didn't.
Hmm.
Now, now it's like way better. It's way better now.
That's what's up. Self love, man. That's what it's really
Yes,
about. That's
exactly.
that's the key. Is self love. And some
Self
people
love.
they don't. I guess what. Oh, let me ask you actually. Like what do you think would be a way for people to get to that? Like, let's say if they can't, let's say afford therapy, or they let's say they probably don't even have a positive person in their life. What ways would you also suggest?
I would suggest just just knowing, just owning up to this person that's telling me this probably has the lowest self esteem in the world.
Hmm.
This person that's constantly tearing me down, constantly belittling me, constantly humiliating me because It doesn't matter if it's if you got a husband or wife that's doing that to you or whatever, or your parents or whoever it is, just co-worker or whoever. If they constantly doing that, they got some major issues of their own.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people tear people down to build themselves up. I had to spend a long time to realize that they constantly tear you down because they trying to build themselves up because they got
Mm-hmm.
extremely low self-esteem. They trying to tear you down to make themselves feel better about themselves. A lot of that has to do with that too. So I would say just try to, you know, just look at it that way because that's 9 times out of 10 that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
They're
That's
just
real
trying to
talk right there.
build themselves up. They're trying to build themselves up because they got low self-esteem. And they're very focused. It's just bad. And it happens all the time. But that's what I would say, if they don't have that, that support system,
Mm-hmm.
somebody to talk to, basically somebody that's doing that to you, they self-esteem is beyond low. Insecurity, let's say insecurity, constantly do that to somebody.
That's 100% true. I've seen it and been through it. It's crazy, really, the way some people could really treat people just because of what they're dealing with, and that's not the way.
Yep.
So as long as you recognize that, yeah, that's definitely a great advice right there.
Yeah,
Latoya,
everything's on my blog.
yep.
Shut down. People try to shut you down. You coming to them with, with stuff you going on, or either coming with them with some good news that's happening for you, and they shut you down.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
It's true.
Exactly.
I got a few more questions that I want to ask you. These are some questions I normally ask like all my guest on my podcast because I just love to hear the answers because there's just different ones that um, my guests provide me. So my first one I'm going to ask you is, what is your favorite quote or saying that you lean on during the good times or the bad times?
I'm not alone.
I like that.
I mean, I'm not alone. Somebody in this world is going through the same exact thing that you're going through, or maybe even worse. No matter how bad it gets, you're not
Mm-hmm.
alone. That's my favorite thing. Sometimes I say it over and over.
Kind of remind me of that song. It was like, "You are not alone."
Exactly.
Sorry, I know
Exactly.
I don't got the best voice.
Michael, I love you, Michael.
Yeah.
That's what you're not alone. You're not alone at
That's
all. No matter what you're going through, somebody's going through the same thing. Somebody has it worse.
hmm And my other question that I asked as well is, what's a hidden talent that you have that maybe your friends, family, or even some of your fans from your blogs um, don't even know about you?
I like to cook certain things. I can
Okay,
cook certain
got
things.
a little
Yeah.
got a little cooking abilities in you, a little chef.
hmm
What's
I
your
can
go
cook when I
to?
get ready. Oh, I like to make my family spaghetti.
Spaghetti's my
All kind of
favorite.
spaghetti.
One of them at least.
Mhm.
I'm really actually over the last 2 years. I think I've really fell in love with baked spaghetti because for a long time I was just doing it on the stove. But
So yeah,
yeah, putting it in that oven when you throw that
all
extra
in the
cheese
oven.
on top.
Everything put extra. Put everything
Mm-hmm.
inside the oven and just let
Mm-hmm.
it sit for hours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That,
Oh
that's a
yeah.
that's love right there, man. I was
Get
like,
some
dang, I'm so
accent.
mad.
Get some good seasoning. Yep. Get
I
some
was like,
good soul seasoning. Yep. It's
yep,
good.
yep. I was just gonna say, yep, throw that on there. I was so mad that I was like, damn, I can't believe I was 24 when I discovered this. What's wrong?
Yeah. Let it sit there. Let it sit and season in the oven. Whew. I did that before. Not too many times I haven't, but most time I can get on the stove. But I'm probably gonna
Mhm,
bake something this time. Did that.
mhm.
Yep.
And where can all my peeps and new viewers or listeners, depending on how they're gonna see this episode, could find you on social media?
So my Instagram is Lifts with Latoya, and they can find me. That's my personal page.
All right.
My blog is let it out with Latoya. That's my blog on Instagram. That's the Instagram for my blog. Let it out with Latoya.
Mm-hmm. I'll
So
make sure I
those
put
are the
those.
two main ones.
Yeah, I was gonna make sure I put those in the description and in the screen too. Because
Be
yeah.
Unity is on there too. Be Unity. Be
Mm-hmm.
Unity underscore brand. That's the name of my clothing line Instagram. But Instagram is the main one.
Gotcha. And is there anyone that you want to shout out or just give thanks for always either being there for you or just people that you ran into? I know you talk highly of your therapist, but and the person that you met and not met, but the one you knew in the Navy that checked on you. But is there anyone you want to shout out? Anyone else?
I'm gonna shout out my daughter, Alea.
Yes.
Shout
That's what's up.
out Mama Baby.
That's the motivation
Definitely.
right there. Them kids, man. I
Definitely.
swear.
Definitely. Ooh, that girl. That girl done brought me a long way. Yeah, that's
Mhm,
my baby. I shout her out.
definitely. Is there anything
Thank you.
else you wanna cover that we probably either didn't touch up on enough or that you want to really make sure we get it out there?
I think we did good. And also, if you don't mind, I want to come back for part two.
Yeah, you're always
We'll
welcome
do
on the
this.
show.
We'll do.
Definitely,
We'll do a part two. We'll do a part two. We'll definitely do a part two.
definitely.
Thank you so much. Oh, whew.
You all good? Yeah, that's first interview. Yeah,
Yay! Let it out with
yeah,
Latoya.
yes. Let it out with Latoya. You can find her like she said on Instagram. You please check out her blog. I mean, she has some amazing blogs out there from things from like overthinking, like overcoming trauma, abuse. I mean, just so much. I know we got to share a little bit here, but check out her blogs, all my peeps out there, and everyone else that will check this video or hear this audio episode. And any last thoughts or sayings?
That's it. Appreciate it. Let it out.
I like that. Let it out. Thank you, Latoya, again for being a part of the Food Choice Podcast, episode
Yay.
44. And we are out.